Friday. I'm so happy it's Friday. Who do we have on so far? I see everyone's joining, hopping on. Make sure you tell me who's online. I love chatting with you all. Again, welcome. It's Friday. And we are ready to dive into another layout. And this one, tonight's layout is going to be based on this sketch I have here. Sorry, I'm just giving myself a little more room. This sketch here, a little bit closer. So this was the challenge, I think, from last month in the Jessica Grace and Friends Pretty Pages group, and I haven't gotten to it yet, so we're doing it tonight. And part of the challenge was not only to use this sketch as inspiration, but to add some mixed media to it. So hi Colleen, hello, thanks for joining. And so obviously this layout gives you the perfect inspiration for some mixed media. So we're gonna play a little bit tonight. Hi Joyce. And yeah, so this is the sketch. If you need a copy of it, if you're on the group here, go over to Jessica Grace and Friends Pretty Pages group, and it's under announcements. If you're not part of the group and you want the sketch, go ask to be a part of it so you can join in the sketch. And if you do a layout with it, make sure you post it on the group. I'll be taking this one down and doing another soon, so make sure you grab it if it's one you're interested in. So tonight I am scrapping photos of Wyatt riding his bike. Well, I say riding his bike very loosely because he struggled with pedaling, but I got some really great shots of him riding his bike, so we're going to document that tonight. And I am using the Coco Vanilla Studios Legendary Collection, which is a boy collection. So I'm going to use bits and pieces from that. I've got a random assortment of embellishments. It's still my No Spend November, and we are on day 20, and I haven't spent a penny. I'm so proud of myself. Hopefully some of you are joining me in on that challenge. So I've been shopping my stash and just pulling a whole bunch of randomness together to create these layouts. So I'm excited to use up some stuff, and let's get going. So, hi Teresa, welcome. Yes, it is such a great collection. I love the colors. Love, love, love the colors. And I love it because his bike and his helmet and his jacket, they all have the colors in this collection. So I was so excited because it all just works so well together. All right, so we're going to add some mixed media to this layout tonight. And I'm going to use some Nuvo or some mousse, different kinds of embellishment mousse. So I was trying to decide what color to go with, but I think I'm going to keep, I was originally thinking this pretty blue color, but it doesn't quite match the colors in the layout. So I decided to go more with this metallic silver color, and this one's by Artsy. I'll get a little closer. It's a texture cream, they call it, and I'll show you if you can kind of see. I'll open it up too. It's got a shimmer to it. It's really pretty. And so we're going to do some texture in the background before we put our photos and stuff on there. And I'll give it time to dry while I mat my photos and probably go through some embellishments. So hopefully I won't have to use the heat gun and make a lot of noise. That's kind of what I'm trying to achieve here. Okay, so let's give another look at this layout. So I'm actually going to stay pretty true to the layout. But I just wanted to give you a few tips on sketches. Sketches are wonderful if you need inspiration, need an idea, you know, having a creative block. They're just such a great tool. And some people don't realize how great, how versatile and useful sketches are. So this one's wonderful just as is, and that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to stay pretty true to this sketch. But next time you grab a sketch, I recommend you try turning it 90 degrees, and look at that. You have like a whole new layout. Same sketch, whole new layout. And then turn it maybe another 90 degrees, and again, you have a new layout. So if you turn it around, as you can see, you're getting different compositions with the same layout. So you can use a sketch, you know, the same sketch to create different compositions. The other great way to use a sketch is, you know, just using it as a guide. So for example, I'm staying pretty true to it. However, I am making some changes because my photos are a little bit different. So instead of a title card here, I have a large photo. And then I do have the 3 photos that are going across the bottom. So again, I'm using the sketch as a guide, but you don't have to, there's no rule that says you have to follow a sketch to the absolute exact measurement. This is simply just for inspiration. So tweak it as you need. So as you can see, I'm keeping the basic layout the same, but I'm using an additional photo rather than like a title section or a title card. So with that being said, I'll have to find a new place for a title, but that's okay. So also, you know, this sketch really kind of inspired me for mixed media. This section here is kind of hinting at mixed media, right? But say you don't have mixed media or you're not a mixed media person. It doesn't mean you can't do this sketch. You can instead maybe put a doily here or a die cut. You could do stamping. You could do stitching if that's your thing. So just because this little mixed media section is here doesn't mean you have to do mixed media, right? So look beyond the sketch. Think about how you can change things up. The other thing is these embellishments, right? They have feathers and hearts. You don't have to do feathers and hearts. You can do hexagons. You could do circles. I'm going to do a bicycle, I think. So again, just because there's a heart here doesn't mean you have to put a heart there. If you have an embellishment pack or something you'd much rather do, just switch it out. Just again, use this as a guide. So I think we're going to play a lot more with sketches as time goes on so I can really show the versatility. They're just super, super fun. So anyways, I just wanted, there's my little spiel on sketches. Use them. There's a ton on Pinterest. There's a ton you can buy if you're, you know, like to buy in print. So they're all out there, and they're just really great for ideas and inspiration. Okay, so back to my mixed media here. So we're going to set the photos to the side. So what I have here is a cool little stencil. I can't remember who, I actually think it might be by the same company, Artsy. And it's a stencil that it's kind of like clingy on the back, I guess, so it doesn't move so much, or it's not supposed to when you have it down on your paper. Now I've used this a few times, so it moves a little bit, so I might have to do some washi tape. But I have decided this stencil kind of reminds me of tire tracks. It's like a honeycomb hexagon kind of design, if you can see that. But I thought it would be kind of cool to do it like tire tracks on the layout because he's riding his bike. So I am going to take a little bit of washi because, like I said, it's supposed to cling, but I've used it a few times, so the clinginess isn't working all that well. So you just take a little bit of washi, and if you have a regular plastic stencil, this trick works just as well. So the washi holds it down just enough so that it doesn't move. So what you don't want to do is kind of like have your stencil move and then it smush your, you know, what you've just done all over the place. If that makes any sense. All right. So I'm kind of doing it at an angle here. I didn't want it to go like completely straight up and down. Well, you know, actually, now that I think of it, I was going to go at an angle, but now that I think about my layout, I think I want it to go straight up because this is also where my title is going to go. So we're going to switch that up here. think I need a little bit on either end as well. So again, if you don't have mixed media or if you don't have a stencil, use a stamp. You know, you could use, if you just have sprays or mist, you could just do some spritzing. You know, there's endless possibilities here for this technique. All right, I'm going to turn it this way because it'll just be easier for me to mush down the modeling paste. So this is a texture paste that's metallic, so it's kind of like frosting. That's what it reminds me of. Don't eat it, but it looks like in the texture of a thick frosting, and it's just, this stuff is really, really fun, and these little containers go a very long way. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit at a time on my little spatula here, and I'm just gonna go through and smush it onto my stencil. And now you don't have to do the whole stencil, you can do bits and pieces. I'm just gonna kind of spread, and I'm okay with like some randomness. It doesn't have to be completely full. And you want to make sure it's not too thick. It will take a long time to dry if that's the case. So if you got time and you want it really dimensional, layer this on. I myself am just looking for a little texture and visual interest added, so I don't need to go crazy nuts with the amount on there. And like I said, this kind of reminded me of tire tracks, so I was like, how perfect. He's riding his bike, and we're gonna do some tracks all over the paper. So, how many of you have used texture paste before, or is this a new technique for you? Just out of curiosity. I don't use it a lot, but I'm starting to try to incorporate it in a little bit more. Nuvo makes, like I showed you before, they're the other company that makes these. This is more like a mousse, so it's not as thick, but it goes on very easily. They make a really great product. There's also white texture paste that you can get. I know Close to My Heart sells it, and I've seen it on the other scrapbooking stores too. There's lots of different brands, but you can, if you get the white, you can tint it with like your watercolors or your acrylic paints or your sprays and mists, which are really neat too. So that's kind of nice to have a white texture paste because you have a lot of options in regards to your colors. We're almost there. But it's just a different way, and like this is going to give me a little shimmer. New to you, Teresa. Oh, fun. Well, maybe it's a technique you might want to adapt. All right. I've used, you know, like chevron designs with this, polka dots. It works great with a lot of stencils. Alright. And as for this stencil here, once I get it, peel it up, I will set it aside, and I can just wash it down with some soap and water later. I need a little bit up here. Because this stuff takes a little bit to clean off your stencils. All right, so it does look like a big smudgy mess right now. But once we lift up the stencil, you'll see, and it's just ever so subtle. Ever so subtle. And that's all I was looking for, was a subtle, a subtle look. Now, if you had a plastic stencil and you did this, it would be a lot more defined. Now, I'm wanting to do another tire track over here. So I'm going to put this back down. And I think actually, let's see. And we're going to do a little bit more. And because it's kind of thin on here, I can, I don't think it's going to take long for it to dry. So, again, I'm just, this stencil here, works really well with like watercolors and thinner mediums too. So I could have done that, but like I said, I was looking for something really subtle, so that's why I chose this stencil, because I knew the design wasn't going to be too overwhelming. Because this paper I have going on here has a lot of mixed media on it, like the kind of the mixed media look to it already. So I didn't want to compete with that. So we're just going through and we're smushing some more of that in, because I want a little bit of this to peek under the photos too. Again, I'm not looking to do a whole lot. All right. Let's see how we... Oh, this one didn't even come through that time. I think I gunked it up too much. Well then, we're going to have to rinse that off. So we're going to skip that. So, just so you know, we're trial and error here. I did way too much on this, so it didn't come through this second time on the stencil. But that's all right. We don't necessarily need it. But you know, we can... Let me just show you what another stencil looks like so I can give you an idea. Oh goodness, sorry about the racket. So this isn't a tire pattern, but you know what? Let's just mix and match here. So I do want a little texture on this side. So this is like your typical stencil, and so I'm just gonna set it here, and I'm just gonna hold it with my hand. And so this is gonna give me a little bit more dimension, but I'm just gonna do a small area, so it shouldn't be too impactful. So just kind of random, nothing too intense, nothing too special. Just trying to get some different color and shape on here. Even though it's a gray, it's just a nice, breaks up that white a little bit. And I think I want to do a little bit up here. I'm just filling in those little dots with this modeling paste. All right. I know it probably doesn't look like a whole lot right now, but as you build upon it, it just adds that little bit extra. So I'm going to lift this up a little bit, and there we go. We got some dots. And so because, you know what, now that I look at this, I might just want to add a little bit over here so it kind of ties it together. Just a little bit. Kind of that visual triangle here. Since my other stencil gave out on me a little bit. There we go. Lift it up. And there we have it. Some mixed media texture. All right, I'll clean those off later. So we're gonna let this dry for a minute. It shouldn't take too long because there's not a whole lot on there. And so now what I'm gonna do while we wait is I need to map my photos. So I'm going to actually, I was trying to decide on what color, so maybe you guys can help me. I was thinking either orange or this blue to map the photos. Or I can kind of do a combination. I could do like maybe this big one in orange because it pulls out that orange part of his hat, and maybe the little ones in blue. That kind of might look nice, right? I'm trying to pull together the, you know, the colors of the photo and the background. So I actually think I might like that. What do y'all think? Let's mix and match, huh? I think that sounds good. So we're just going to do small, narrow border on this photo here. How many of you use sketches? Is it something you use a lot of, or are you somebody that just kind of you create your own layouts and don't use sketches a lot? I do a mixture of both. I tend to grab, when I see a sketch that I want to make, I use it. I think I'm going to do these in a strip. But sometimes I forget, I forget sketches are out there too. Kind of guilty of both, I guess. But I love them. And I should really use them a lot more sometimes. They're just great when you're unsure how to, lay out your photos. They have such wonderful ideas on composition. So I'm going to make these all like basically one photo strip. There we go. Yeah, I think the blue and the orange is going to look good. I like it. All right, let me just trim this up just a little bit. I think this kind of helps them stand out a little bit from one another. Love it. And our mixed media is already dry. Isn't that awesome? Lovely. All right. So now we are going to adhere our photos. And then we can start the fun part, which is embellishing. And this is another reason why sketches are so awesome, because you don't spend all this time like trying to figure out the placement of your photos. You actually can just jump right in and create it. That's another reason to love sketches. They've kind of done all the thinking for you, right? So all you have to do is play. And I love that for sure. I'm just going to use some wet glue because I have a little bit of mixed media that is, I think, on the corner of this. So just to be on the safe side. And I think I want him to tilt just slightly. Just at a slight angle. And I'm kind of having it aligned with my mixed media there. So for my photo strip here at the bottom, I think I'm going to lift it up a little bit. So we're going to want to do some foam adhesive. With some double-sided tape. So I actually broke down and I put up some Christmas decorations this week, believe it or not. I know we just talked about Christmas, I think, decorating for Christmas last week. And typically I'm a kind of an after Thanksgiving kind of person, but this week, I've just been kind of feeling like I need Christmas in my life now. I don't know, I just think I love Christmas anyway. So my son and I did some decorating on Tuesday, and it's so nice. It's so cheery in the house. We haven't done everything, like we haven't put the tree up yet, but we did some garland and we did some outside decorations, and I don't know, it just was fun. And I'm like, oh, this feels really nice. It puts me in the spirit. And he was like super excited about it because he He loves the holidays. He just likes decorating. I can't tell you, like, Halloween this year, he was all about decorating the house for Halloween. He was just so into it. I loved it. So it made him happy too. So I actually put out some Christmas decorations a little earlier than normal, but you know what? That's okay. It makes us happy, right? And just like scrapbooking, there's no rules of when you can put up your Christmas tree or your decorations. You do when you want it, right? All right. So there's our foam. And so this is just going to help it. It's popping up a little bit. Stick up just slightly above there. I love the colors. I just, for a boy collection, I just absolutely love these colors. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to adhere it with glue. I agree, Teresa. I agree. That's exactly what I was feeling. Like, just Christmas just makes us so happy. So we just, you know, I just felt like, why not start, you know, early to add that cheer. So, and I'm really excited for this year because Wyatt's 4, and so I think he's going to really have fun with Elf on the Shelf this year. I think he'll be really into it, so I'm kind of excited about that. Like doing all the fun little, you know, shenanigans, like creating with him. I can't wait. He's kind of just learning and getting into that stuff, so that will be fun. All right, so now we have our photo composition. I'm just going to let that glue set for a minute. That's my Aleene's Quick Dry Tacky Glue. I love that stuff. I'm going to take off this branding strip as well. There. All right. So, again, another quick and easy layout tonight. I really think the sketch just really makes it super easy. So we've got some mixed media on there. I've got my photo composition. So now really it's looking through some embellishments and seeing what we want to add. And a title. So the title has been tripping me up a little bit, I'll be honest with you. I've been trying to think about, you know, a good title. And so I found this Wander set. I think this went with a Heidi Swapp collection, if I remember correctly. And I was going to do, I kind of like this Here We Go. But then I was just like, I love this Go. And I was thinking maybe I could do the word let's with a different font, and then the word go, and then ride a bike. I don't know. Like I would say, I think of that song, Let's Go Ride a Bike, or maybe it's Let's Go Fly a Kite. I don't remember. But do you know the song I'm talking about? It just like popped into my head, and I'm like, Let's Go Ride a Bike. That's a great title. And I love this go that it's kind of see-through. And so I was trying to think of what other font letters to go with it. So we got go. So I'm going to cut this out. So we are going to keep it right on the plastic. All right. So we got the go right there. So I was thinking about looking through my tiny alphas here and maybe finding a different color that stands out. And of course I was thinking green or orange or maybe even blue. I have these blue alphas that, you know, they're just a little different from, you know, they're still kind of on the dark side. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to do like dark, like even, like still do black even, or do I want to do like a lighter color to kind of pull out some more of the color from the helmet and stuff. Like I have some green and orange. And then I have this nice teal color that I, you know, and it's like a serif font. But then, you know, ride a bike might be really too big. So I'm not sure. Decisions, right? You know, the more I think about it, I feel like just that slate blue might just be nice, because that way Go will stand out. So I think we're going to go with that. The tricky part to this is that I do have some mixed media on here, so I am going to have to glue them down. But that's okay. Not a big deal. So let's see what that looks like. So we have the word go, and I was thinking about, again, I'm just placing these for now. I'll get my tweezers and do some glue if I like it. I think the song is Let's Go Fly a Kite, not Let's Go Ride a Bike. But that's the tune that went in my head to think of this title. Does that ever happen to you? I don't know. Like random songs just like pop into your head when you see a photo? Or am I the only one here? I just, it is immediately what popped into my head. I'm like, perfect. Because I was struggling with what to say for a title. Oh, now the song's going through my head and you're trying to remember the movie. Oh, yes, Mary Poppins. You're so right, Teresa. I couldn't remember where that came from either. You're right. I used to watch that movie a lot when I was a kid. Mary Poppins. And I think it was Let's Go Fly a Kite. Isn't that too funny? Now I want to watch the movie. The original. All right. Yeah, I think the blue actually works good with the black. I think it complements it really well. So it will be a little tricky, like I said, on this mixed media, but we can glue it down and it should be fine. There we go. Oh, that's so cute. Let's go ride a bike. I love it. And secretly I'm singing the song in my head, Teresa. All right. So I love that title. I love where it's at. I think that looks so good. So, all right. So now we want some embellishments. So I originally grabbed some ephemera and some stickers, and I didn't really know. I mean, I know I kind of want to put a bike on here, but I wasn't sure what else I might want to add. So I got this cute little, ephemera pack from, I think, My Mind's Eye, and it's about travel and stuff, but I saw buildings, and I think it might have had a bike, so I wasn't sure, if it had something I could use, and it might not, but you never know. Like I said, I'm trying to mix and match some collections here, so. Let's Get Lost. It's a really cute ephemera set. I don't remember where I picked it up at, but I wasn't sure. I thought there was a bike in here, but there might not be. They have a little, like, scooter, but obviously that won't work. Some picture frames. Oh, that's kind of cute. Too bad it wasn't longer. Yeah, no bike. All right, so I guess we're not gonna that awesome might work, but that's about it for this ephemera pack. So I wasn't sure. always worth trying. So I think mostly what I'm going to use is some stickers and maybe some enamel dots, possibly, I don't know. So this, are you talking about the gray? Hi Plethora, thank you. Are you talking about these little speckles here in the background? If you are, yeah, that's some mixed media. Welcome, by the way, and I used some texture paste, metallic texture paste, with a stencil. So I use this one, and the other one's a little bit mucky. You can't see it. I kind of overdid it, but it was like a hexagon kind of track-looking stencil. All right, and so now we're just figuring out how to embellish. So I got some cute little puffy stickers, but I kind of wanted to do a bigger bike if I could. And I have this awesome orange one right here. And I was hoping for green, but you know, I can't have it all, right? So these stickers are from, this is from Echo Park. They make really awesome boy collections too. So I kind of like that bike because it's a little, like a little kid's bike rather than a teenager bike. I'm just looking through to see if there are any other stickers. I might use some of these stars on the sticker sheet too. Yeah, and then there's, yeah, so the other two bikes I have are more like a bigger bicycle. So we're gonna use this little orange bike, but I want to put it on some cards because I want to make it more like a die cut. And so I need my scraps. Hi, Wendy. Oh, you're so kind. Put your name in there. Welcome. I will remember one of these days, but I greatly appreciate that. So this is why it's super important to keep your scraps. So like if you want to turn a sticker into a die cut, you don't have to cut into a nice fresh piece of cardstock. You just grab, you know, some of your scrap and make your own. All right, so this is the little bike. Isn't that cute? So I want to put this on and I'm going to cut it out because I want it to be a little firmer. I don't want it just to be a sticker. Hi, Jess. Thank you. This is for those of you who are just joining us, this is a sketch inspired layout. So this was the sketch I had last month of the Jessica Grace and Friends Pretty Pages, and I'm just getting to it, so I figured it would be fun to do it together tonight. So that's what we're doing. We added a little bit of mixed media, and now we're putting the finishing touches on it, really. We're picking out like the embellishments and stuff. So I love turning stickers into die cuts because they're, you know, they can, that way you can kind of pop them up and they can be a little firmer. So it's a good way to utilize stickers kind of a little differently. Yes, you do have to do some fussy cutting with them, and I know how much some of you aren't a big fan of it, but if you don't mind the detail cutting, it's worth it. It really is. So I'm cutting this little bicycle out to put on this layout here. Oh, yeah, you know, it's funny, with the bike ephemera, I have more than I realized. Well, I don't really have ephemera, I have a lot of stickers. But yeah, I think, you know, if you have children or grandchildren, they'll always have their first bike riding experience, you know, so it's a great layout to use that bike for, because I don't ride a bike. I mean, I did all the time when I was a kid, but don't get me on one now. I would, I don't know, I don't have very good balance anymore, so I don't know if I would do very well on a bike at my age. But Wyatt's still trying to figure it out. This was like a warm day in March, I think, earlier this year, so it was just a little bit after he turned 3, and so he's still, he's struggling with the concept of the pedals. So hopefully this spring he'll you know, be able to figure it out. I think he's close, but oh, a travel layout with bikes in the background. That's a really great idea too. That is a really good idea. And sometimes, you know, when I have ephemera that I just don't know what to do with, I just stick random ones in there. Like I just did a fall themed layout, and I had this fox with a scarf on it, and it was like the layout I did was like a reef and just different a reef made of like leaves and stuff. So it had nothing to do with foxes, right? But the color of the fox, I could just, it just worked. He was kind of a gray, so I could just like sneak him in on the bottom corner, and it worked. So I snuck a little fox in on there, and that worked out really well. All right, there's our little bike ephemera. Super cute, right? I think we're gonna want to put him down there, or you know, we might be able to. I don't really want to cut him up. I like the whole bike, so I think we're gonna go there. All right, what else we got for ephemera? So I have this that came with a different Coco Vanilla Studios collection called Totally Rad, but the colors are very close to what's in the Legendary collection, so I figured we could use some of these stars and add those in. I'm wondering if the orange, yeah, maybe we'll do the orange here. And just kind of sprinkle these in and about. I love stars. Give me all the stars. I think they're such a great shape and so versatile. They make it really easy to add dimension or add interest, embellish your layout. What is the, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. All right. I think do I want to do two down here? Or do I want to add him? Maybe one over here. I got this little black one. I'm missing one, but maybe I can find a star somewhere else that I can add. Get another third one over here somewhere. All right, we got, oh, this one kind of looks like a wheel, but I don't know if that will fit on here if I cut it in half. Yeah, that's gonna cover it up too much. So this is the fun part, just trying to figure out where to stick and plunk and put everything down. Let's see. I love these colors too. I just love them for boy layouts. All right, that's my boy. So I think we're gonna get rid of this awesome and maybe put this awesome there instead. And I think I want to move, swap these stars here. Have the blue over here and the orange over here. There we go. Like that. Excuse me. All right. I don't think it's going to need much more, to be quite honest with you, because there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of mixed media going around. But I do like this little paper, kind of fringed paper. So I'm wondering, move it stuck. All right. If we can sneak a little bit of that under there, just as like another layer, make it look kind of cool. But I do need to tack it underneath, so just bits and pieces here and there. Try to add texture and interest. There we go. That's kind of cute. All right. Tuck that up there. You know, I think that's too much. Just a little bit. On the bottom, make it look like tire tracks. Oh, maybe I can add this little little bit right there by the bike. Kind of add that in the corner here. Oh, that's cute. Maybe. My paper's curling just slightly from that media here. All right. Might want to get that bike down. Okay. We're getting close. We're getting close. I do need to still tack this down as well. And I wanted to see if I had any more stars. And I do. I have another green one. This one's a little more green. But I think that's okay. Yeah, that still matches. All right, let's get this bike on here, and I think I'm going to need to do maybe just a little bit of an adhesive foam. Well, let's see. To bump them up on the side, but let's see right here. Let's put that there first. I think that's all right. And then, do we want to do like a little tag or something down there? I don't know. What do we got? Nothing over here. We're just thinking like a little word phrase or something. Or, you know, I could do some, I don't know if I'm going to do some journaling on this or not. I might do it on the back. Talking to myself and to you all at the same time, sorry. Embellishing is just, there's a lot of decisions to be made. And sometimes you just know, and sometimes you don't know. A tag tucked behind the helmet would be cute. Yeah, I agree, Wendy. I was thinking the same thing, like something up here. I have these cute little tags. Actually, this is meant to, yeah. And like blue kind of complements it a little bit. Thank you for the suggestion. I like that. All right. So let's get this title tacked down. And this is where I need my tweezers. Oh, that's a good idea, an interactive element. So kind of like journaling or something. That's a good idea too. Thank you for that. I might see if I have something to do journaling with that later and do that. All right, so we're gonna have to glue these little guys down because they're just not gonna stick on the mixed media without it. So, oh, I need my fine tip for this. So I'm gonna use my little like fine liner bottle here because these are tiny, tiny letters. And it's gonna go right over this dot, so I'm just gonna remove it. I'm gonna get some glue on. This is the tedious part, but it's so worth it in the end. It really is. These little tiny alphas are great, but I do find that I need to glue them down quite often. The adhesive just isn't very strong on them. But once they're glued down, they stick. They work great. So just a little suggestion. Even if this wasn't on mixed media, I probably would glue them down. There we go. How are y'all scrappy projects coming? Are you starting one new, or are you guys doing... I know last week some of you were working, getting your Christmas stuff ready for like your December dailies. No, I have not watched any prep videos yet. I was thinking about getting ready to do that though, Wendy. I need to. Because I really want to try it this year. You've convinced me to try it. And I have like 5 drawers of Christmas paper and embellishments that I really need to use. So if this year, why not, right? Oh yeah, I would love to hear your recommendation. If you got anything, I would love to hear. I have seen a couple pop up on my YouTube recommendations, you know, like the feed or whatnot, but I just haven't watched them yet. Alright. She had a wheel that was one way, it was white, and it turned the other way and black. Oh, neat. So like an interactive layout. That's pretty cool. I don't do a lot of interactive pieces on my layouts, and I think it's because I put them in sleeves, and I just think I'm never gonna bother like interacting with the piece, I guess. But I guess if it's for like journaling or something, that's different, right? Because you're gonna want to, you know, if you see it, you pick it out and read the story or whatnot. But like the ones that have like the flip thing, the flip flap things that like your photos can flip up. I've seen some people use those and they're like super neat, but I don't ever use them on my layouts because I just don't ever think I'll actually go in and like flip up the picture, if that makes any sense. But I think they're so cool. But like in a December daily, I guess I can kind of understand using something like that because they seem to be like a lot more of an interactive album. All right. I know this is not so fun to watch, but we're getting this glued down. All right. All right. I am still humming that song in my head. Believe it or not. I cannot get rid of it now. I'm probably going to be singing it all night. That's so funny how a song gets caught in your head. Allie Edwards design team. Oh my gosh. Yes, I can I understand your feeling, Plethora. I moved recently in April. And I had my craft room packed up for like 3 months, and it was really hard. And then after we moved, I think it took me like another month to get my craft room like in a space where I could actually craft. So I feel you, girl. I do. Exciting move though. Hopefully it's a good one, and nice warm weather there in Texas most of the time year round. So that'll be exciting. But when you pack up all your craft supplies, I don't know about you, but for me it was kind of like an eye-opener. I'm like, wow, I have a lot of stuff. It took up almost one whole 5x10 storage unit by itself. Oh, good, you'll be closer to your family. That's nice. There's nothing better than that. I think I would have a hard time if I lived too far from my family. So good for you. That's exciting. Yeah. You see, you were in the same boat as me. Craft room took an entire storage unit up. That's so funny. My husband was such a trooper about it, like carrying it all, and he was just awesome. He supports my hobby. I'm very fortunate, but he didn't give me too hard of a time about all my craft stuff. But he did say to me, he's like, you know, you wouldn't know that you have so much stuff because you organize it so well. And I was like, oh, thanks. Well, I'm glad you didn't realize that. Oh no. This area is a little tricky because it's a little bumpier. I tried to smooth out the bumps a little bit, but I might have to do a little bit more here. Let's try that again. This mousse is somewhat forgiving, so you can kind of scrape it up a little bit, which is what I'm doing so my eye will lay a little flatter. Hopefully that will help. Alright, and if it's a little crooked, that's okay. I'm okay with crooked. Yes, my husband, I am so fortunate. He is a big supporter of my hobby. And he was so great about moving most of the entire stuff in the house, honestly. He was so great about that. But yeah, he didn't complain once about all my craft supplies, so I appreciated it very much. He is very supportive, which was nice. It was definitely an eye-opener about how much supplies I had. All right, we got the tiny letters down, yay! So, but it's also exciting moving, so you get to like create a whole new craft space for yourself. Hopefully you will in your new place. Do you have a room all to yourself, or do you know, have a little space for your craft area? Oh, what am I doing? I gotta take this down. That was actually, funny enough, that was one of the criteria for us buying a new house was I had to have my own craft room. Yay, that's awesome. How exciting for you. Oh, it's so exciting. I had so much fun designing mine. Enjoy. But that was like one of I had to have my own craft space because our last house, I had my own space, but it was in like an open family room, so like I didn't have any walls, and it was fine. Like I was fortunate, I had a lot of room, but I really definitely like having like a door that I could close and like my own little getaway, kind of my own little actual room that I don't share with anybody. It's really nice. So I was very excited. All right, there's our G. Yeah, I know. It's like, you know, I love you all, family, but it's kind of nice to be able to like lock yourself away, you know, in your own little room. I get it. I get it. It is really nice. And mine's downstairs, and it's the only room beside it's in the base. I guess you call it a basement, but it's a finished basement with a walkout space. So it's down in like next to a mudroom in the garage. So I literally am by myself down here, which is really nice. I mean, I can hear all the happenings going on upstairs, but other than that, it's nice. It's nice, all peace and quiet and by myself. Yes, nice and quiet, or I don't know if my room is ever really quiet, because I always have like some music or something going on in the background, but without, distraction of family, it is really nice. I feel very fortunate to have like my own little space here. Okay, we got our title down. We have some cute little embellishments, the little bike here, and I just want to take a quick peek, but I don't know honestly if I'm going to add a whole lot more. I kind of like the simplicity of this layout. I do have some, oh, we got some more stickers and stuff, so let's just see real quick. Oh, we got some enamel dots. We can add some of those. I always like enamel dots. So let's see, we got some gray and blue. it with my little cluster of stars here. Oh, that one's too big. Here we go. Let's see if there's any stickers. Kind of funny when we got our house, when we found our house, I was like, oh my gosh, my craft room is so big, it's gonna have so much storage, and then how quickly I filled it up with all of my crafting supplies. It did not take much to fill this room up, which is so funny. Alright, so I was just looking to see if there was any other embellishments that, you know, I might want to add to this layout, but I don't know that I want to add a whole lot more. I'm thinking maybe trying to figure out to add a little something more over here by the bike, make it a little more of like a cluster, but maybe not the little circle. See if there's anything. They got some nice little words here. Adventure. Yeah, I don't have a lot of bike embellishments, so, or I didn't really have a lot of embellishments that I thought might work with this. Oh, that Let's Go's cute, but I already have Let's Go up there. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking for special. Oh, that's kind of cute. Go Your Own Way. There's another song. Oh, you know what? I like this one better. You got this, because he's trying to ride the bike for the first time, so kind of like that. And I love tiny words. Sometimes they just fill in the void of journaling. These are all the same. Okay. I love it. I'm really thinking that I don't want to do much more here because of all the wonderful color and mixed media happening around. So I think we're going to call this layout complete. So we got a little mixed media in there. We followed a sketch. Simple. And that sketch made this so easy. Oh, thank you so much, Plethora. It's been wonderful chatting. I hope you join us again. I do this every Friday at 7. I really appreciate you being a part of the group. And joining in on the fun. But here's, again, let me just show you. Here is the original sketch idea that we started from. And as you can see, I kind of turned it into my own, but it made it so easy to pull a composition together and create a super easy, beautiful layout. Very quick. Very quickly, I think, anyway. Besides the gluing part, I'm sure that was a little bit too much for some people, but I love the title. I'll give you guys a little bit of a closer look here, but the colors, this paper pack or collection just works out so great. But we've got little bits and pieces in there, but we've documented him trying to ride a bike, and I absolutely love it. So I hope you guys enjoy this layout as well. Meet me back here next Friday for another no fail. If you have any ideas or recommendations of what you want to see on No Fail Fridays, definitely let me know. A product you want me to highlight or a technique. I'm always looking to broaden my my video library and my share other skills with all of you. So hopefully you've enjoyed this and continue to enjoy them. So we'll have another one next Friday. We'll get together same time next week. If you do attempt this sketch and this layout, make sure you post it up on our Facebook group, Jessica Grace and Friends Pretty Pages. I love seeing everybody's take on all these layouts. It's so fun. Stamping. All right, we want some more stamping. Okay. That's going to challenge me a little bit because I'm not, I don't stamp as much as I should, but I will do that for you, Wendy. We'll do some stamping coming up because I have a ton of stamps I need to use. So thank you for the recommendation. And share your layouts and make sure you give this a like and a subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate it. Lets me know you enjoy these. And I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. And I'll see you next week. Thank you all. Bye.